Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, formerly known as Mr. Jack 000, back with Automation the Car Company Tycoon game and the most powerful engine series. We're going to be building the most smallest but powerful V8 engine as of right now. Before I start, I've seen some comments on my other engine build videos of how people attempted to recreate my build of these powerful engines, stating that they're getting way less power than mine. Regardless if they followed everything I did to get the most power for each engine. I'm not too sure about this, but somebody pointed out that a possible reason of why this happens is because that you have to be in the open beta version rather than the stable version of this game. Currently, I'm in the open beta version of the game, which all of my engine builds were built using that version. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'll investigate that to see if that's the problem of why that happens to some people. So now, let's get on with how I managed to squeeze a lot of power into a tiny engine like this. So first of all, you bring the year up to the year of 2020 to get the most performance, reliability, and everything about the engine. And you could either use a 60 degree or a 90 degree V8 engine if you want to. This doesn't even matter one bit, except for smoothness, that's all. Regardless of the V angle, you could choose any block material that you could choose from. And do set the bore and stroke squared off to 50 millimeters to get the engine capacity at 785.4 cubic centimeters, and we're going to be using dual overhead cam 5 valves made of whatever head material you want. For the crank con rods and pistons, you probably know the drill about this one. Billet steel crankshaft, lightweight titanium con rods, and lightweight forged pistons. And for the variant capacity, you lower the bore all the way down to 42.5, well that's for stroke, 45 millimeters, and the stroke at 42.5 millimeters to get the true engine size to 540.7 cubic centimeters, or around 541 if you were to round this up to the whole number. And for the quality slider, you raise it up to plus 15 for everything you see here to get the most out of this engine and to pretty much make it overpowered and unrealistic. For the compression, you set this to a pretty high amount of an 11.5 to 1 ratio right here. Cam profile maxes out to 100, and of course, VVT at all cams. For the turbocharger, of course, ball bearing turbo setup because it's the most powerful one of all. And for the intercooler, one tick down to 341 horsepower. The compressor down to 32 millimeters. Turbine set it as is to 30 millimeters, and the air ratio set this almost maxes out to a 1.37. And the max boost, of course, raises up to 43.5 psi. For the fuel system, I don't really have to explain this that much. Direct injection, throttle per cylinder race to take, running on ultimate fuel. With the fuel mixture maxed out to a 10.0, the ignition timing set it to a 70, just like my last build. Same thing with the RPM, 11,000 RPM, a big time screamer. For the exhaust and everything, of course, short cast header thanks to it being a turbocharger with dual exhaust, and you set the exhaust diameter to 38.1 millimeters, which gets it up to 1.5 inches. And of course, no cats, no buffers, bring the quality up, and we get the horsepower rating of 234.1 horsepower at 10,100 RPM, the torque at 122.4 pounds-feet of torque at 10,000 RPM, and of course, no warnings to this engine, no valve float, no knocking whatsoever. And this is pretty sad that we get a lot of turbo lag here. I mean, this kicks in at like, what, 86, 87, 100 RPM where the turbo kicks in? That's... That's pretty bad for a real-life engine, but whatever. We got the most power out of this engine being this small, so who even cares about that? Alright, so in just a sec, I'll give you here of what this engine sounds like. While playing around with it with the manual test mode here, I'm going to cycle through all the graphs on here, starting from the power and torque graph, torque and boost, torque and efficiency, and power and efficiency. And after doing all that, I show you the engine that is ripped apart except for the headers and turbochargers, so you can watch this glow red while doing some more fake gear shifts, and that's going to be ending off our video right there. So get ready to start off the engine test right now. Unlike the V6 engine, this engine's much more louder compared to the turbocharger, but the V6 was the other way around, which that's pretty interesting in how that happened. So that'll do it with Automation the Car Company Tycoon game with a small but powerful V8 engine. Just like the V6 engine, you got a lot of power for such a small engine, but you got a crap load of turbo lag to go with it. Well, you can tune the turbo to make it more efficient than this, but this particular build focuses on power over efficiency, which is pretty much the goal for all these engine builds here. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future, including my automation to BMG Drive videos too. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.